besides the scoring early and late, to withstand that third quarter, how much of that is just defense, rebounding, and that kind of gives you the chance to turn things back?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You look at their quarters, 19, 15, and 21 in general. That's going to be a successful night for the most part. But when we couldn't score in the third, we only had 12. They had 15, so we were able to sustain it. I think with our defense. But 36-point second half. Other than that 34-point second quarter, I felt good about our effort tonight. A lull here and there, but for the most part, this is our most consistent game on that end to this point.
Was there a particular emphasis in these last 2 days of practice on rebounding and getting that back to where
Yes, we pointed out that we were 30th in the league after 4 games, and so did a few old school rebounding drills, which is hard to emulate in a real game, obviously, but got those in, and it's more so to emphasize it to those guys, get it on their mind, and win the individual battles. So they ended up with 8 offensive rebounds. They were really good in the Laker game and one of the Golden State games on the offensive glass, and so Sabonis is good there. I think it was a focal point for us, and we did better tonight.
Coach, it seems like Alperen has done a better job in terms of in the paint, just protecting himself as a wall. Just from camp to preseason to now, have you seen any improvement in that area?
Yeah, it's been vast. I think over the 4 games anyway, he really improved. We showed him that on the tape, showed the team that. I think his point up the touch is much better, and that protects him some. It's a little deterrent, so they don't have a head of steam coming downhill at him. And other than a few the DHOs with Monk, we were able to kind of wall him off there, and he's doing a good job staying beneath the roller. So doing what we're asking, we're putting the onus on the guards to get through and chase these guys, and it's looking better.
They cut it to 3 there in the fourth quarter. How big was it for Dylan just to kind of take over in that stretch?
Yeah, it was huge. It was like carryover from third. We weren't scoring as well, obviously, and then we just looked for a spark somewhere. And Fred and Jalen were kind of doing their thing here and there, but it's good to get some other offense. Jabari had the first half, and then Dylan just made the hustle plays and effort plays, and then obviously hit a few threes late, but he kind of stemmed the tide there until we got it rolling again.
Dylan seems really, or at least in this game, seemed eager to kind of bully some of their smaller guards, initiate post-up. Is that something you talk about with him, initiating those kind of mismatches when he has the opportunity?
Yeah, we have some specific sets for him to, take advantage of matchups. Jalen and Fred being our dominant handlers and primary, guys that are in the pick and roll. I think a lot of teams are going to put their main defenders on them, and Dylan will have a mismatch a lot of times. We felt like we didn't take advantage of it the other night with Curry on him, and wanted to do that tonight with Hurt or some, and so put in a few sets the last few days for him to get those easy opportunities.
With Dylan's strength, do you like him as a real straight line driver? It seems like he's really attacking off the catch aggressively.
Yeah, and that's what, you look at your personnel and see what things will work well for them, and those are the actions we have. The backside, DHOs where he can get downhill, and those in the post-ups are things he does naturally.
Are sweeping 7-foot hook shots part of those post-up schemes?
I'd like it to be a little closer, but he does finish some awkward shots. You've seen that throughout his career, and funny as it sounds, he works on a lot of those wild shots, and so see him do it a little bit. He has a little success there.
And just in general tonight, Jalen Green, despite maybe some of the scoring woes, just his playmaking, his decision making, especially there in the fourth quarter, it felt like he did a good job kind of getting the ball to Alpi in the middle of the floor to then break down the defense.
Yeah, and I told him, be patient and just make the right read. He was kind of predetermined, coming off aggressive or looking to pass every time, and I was like, let the game tell you what's going to happen. Let their pickup point and how high the big is, or whether Alpi gets below him. You got to make that read. And so, didn't have it going to a great extent offensively, but made the right plays. And obviously, you get in the paint to Alperen and collapses everything, and he led to the kick out three. So, kudos to him for sticking to it and not getting over anxious when he wasn't scoring as much.
How has Alpi been able to avoid fouling?
Avoid fouling?
As much as he has in the past.
Like I said, I think it's just being up to touch instead of back in the deep drop protects him some. Us really emphasizing the guards, mixing some unders, to protect them on their non-shooters. But, it's a team effort as far as that, and we don't love when it's a 2-on-1 coming downhill at him. Not the best rim protector, but he does other things well. And so I think just his level, in the pick and roll helps him there.
Can you speak to having a player like Fred VanVleet, who seems to always calm down the other players on the court, especially when you're struggling on offense like you were in the third quarter?
Yeah, it's huge. It's what he's done throughout his career, and obviously to this point, 5 games this year, he's been a calming influence and, you know, another coach on the floor. You know, I call things that I see and I like, but a lot of times let him take it and run with what he sees as well. And so he's been great for us. You know, trying to get everybody on the same page so when he's out, we can continue to maintain that level. But you know, he's playing heavy minutes and really controlling his scoring and initiating. And so that's what he's here for.
To piggyback off that, I mean, Fred's over just like 5-to-1 assist to turnover ratio through these 5 games now. Are you surprised at all at just how well he's able to kind of facilitate offense and kind of dictate and involve other guys on the floor?
No, not really. I mean, that's what he's done throughout his career. He's always been one of the top, you know, assist to turnover guys in the league. I think it's always been around 3-to-1. But yeah, he knows, he understands where we were in the past and the importance of us getting shots up. And you know, you want to get good shots, obviously, but a shot is better than a turnover, obviously. So he does that, does a good job of probing and finding his guys, but also looking for a shot.
Thanks, Coach.